Hi, so I'm getting ready for something I've never done before and I'm really excited about. There is a urban sketchers group here in Honolulu, and I'm gonna go today. They're meeting. It's called the Heart of Honolulu Festival. That's a little street festival. I guess they're closing it down so it's only pedestrian traffic can walk through. And they're meeting this morning at 10:30. And I think there's going to do like sketches, and then they're going to meet again at 11 or something. I don't know. I've never done this before, and I'm like really excited about it. But also I'm prepared, and now I'm maybe over prepared. But before I go, I need to make sure I have a hat. Where did I put my hat? It fell down. I'll grab it in a second. And we're back. I have the hat. This has gotten a little beat up. It's old, tattered, holey, worn. It's nice though. It's a good hat. And I'm going to line it with fabric. Not the whole thing. I'm going to leave the skull cap part up here. That's going to stay holey because that's nice. But the brim is going to be lined with this. Only guess what? This fabric that I absolutely love is absolutely not the right size. So I'm piecing together all of the scraps that I have, and then once it's the roughly the right size, I'm just gonna flat out sew it on to the brim. And then I have this binding that I think my mom had sent me, and it's not on the bias, but I'm probably gonna try and make this work to bind the edges, so that I don't have to make binding. It is currently 9:05. I'm going to try and leave by 10, which I think gives me plenty of time to bike over there, but time's ticking. Okay, so here's the game plan. I've got my fabric patched together, you can see there. I'm just going to put this on this, and I'm just going to put it through the sewing machine, and I've got it on the biggest stitch length possible, and we're gonna do that. Once it's all sewn around the outer perimeter, I don't know, because this hole here, I may try and go to the inside as well, like in the inner part, sew that down, and then there's no hole for my head yet, so after everything is sewn on, then I'm going to come in with scissors, punch through, and like cut it and leave enough to like just kind of tuck it under. Maybe I'll plug in my hot glue gun, which is over there. By the way, this desk was clean like 3 days ago. That's fine. But yeah, that's where we're at. It is now 9:08. Okay, this is working way better than I thought it would. Check this out. I'm just too excited. So I was able to get the scraps pieced well enough that I could cover the whole thing and have an excess enough around the entire part that I can just, I did a gather stitch on the edge, and then I'm going to pull it together tight and tuck it under, and it's a self-binding thing, kind of. And then I just need to, stitch it down on the top, and it's done! I mean, I still got to cut a hole for my head, but this is working out so much better than I thought. I am so excited, and I really hope this works out. Wish me luck. Check it out! It worked! I got it on. It's got a brim. I just wrapped it around, and it works. I didn't do anything about the lining on the inside. I'll show you in just a second. Okay, so I literally just did pinking shears around the interior, just cut a hole, and you know what, my head fits. And maybe someday I'll actually finish that more nicely, but not today. I did do a little hot glue. There was that patch hiding under here now. I did hot glue the hat band and a little bit of my new lining fabric to that one spot, but everything else is just kind of free floating. And I put my little lay back on there, and I am so happy. This is gonna be great. Here's my fit check. Earrings, made by me. They're hydrangea. Shirt, also made by me. Pattern from Japan. Pants, got them in Japan. I gotta clean up some threads there, I guess. Oops. And I'm gonna just wear some sandals with my newly lined hat. And yes, we are wearing glasses today, too. Probably no makeup though, because it's too hot for that and I'm so sweaty. But this is great. I am so happy with how this turned out. It's 9:49, so I'm gonna finish getting ready. We'll see you there. I'm here, I made it. I'm at the Plein Air Festival, not Plein Air, the Heart of Honolulu Festival, and I just started. I found a spot, I sat down, and I've started a little sketch. Okay, so here we are. I've got my easel. It's a little bit tight because I'm right up against a wall here, you know, trying not to take over the whole sidewalk, but I am using this spot for my fan. I've got my palette set up right here. It's great because the hinge actually fits right in the slat of the holder of my tripod. So I've started drawing the top of that building because I thought that was a fun shape. So that's what I'm working on now, and I'm probably just going to pick up different motifs because there's beautiful details, and so I'm going to go for the details of this. And we'll see what happens when we come back. And here we are. This is the whole group of everyone who showed up for the Urban Sketchers event. I'm in the top row, as you can see. And then these are the sketches that everybody did in their different spots. All right, so here we are, still sitting on the floor because I need to clean my surfaces off, but I wanted to share my backpack. Before I do that, I'm just staging it a little bit. So this was the backpack that I took. You can see I've got a stool, this little foldable stool hooked on the front, and that worked because this has a snap thing for the handles, which honestly, having this was so good because then I could set up wherever I wanted to. I didn't have to find a curb or stairs or something. I mean, there was a lot of people, and this gave me the flexibility to sit wherever I wanted, which was also in the shade because it was hot. It was very hot. So that, here, maybe I'll just put it like this. So this is what I had. I had it like this. Backpack. All of my art supplies in here. I did forget to pack all of my snacks, but I also forgot to eat the snacks, so I didn't realize I had forgotten them until I got home. So good or bad, probably not the best. I did not have my snacks packed in here, but they would have fit if I had remembered them. And then this bag here is an art easel tripod thing. It's got like a tray for the art to sit in and holds itself together. And this is really nice. This worked out great too because then I could, I tried setting up without it first, you know, just having the stool to sit on, and working just like holding. But then I didn't have a place to put my palette, and all of those little tools that went with the palette. And so, I did end up using the tripod. I don't know, probably tripod's not the right word for it, but it does have 3 legs. Tripod art easel. And I was really glad I had packed this today because that was awesome. And then, yeah, so I had my little stool, which, I mean, this thing is small. This thing is tiny, and it's very low to the ground. So what I realized is that I need to give myself timered breaks of standing up and stretching because I didn't after my first round of sketching, and that was like an hour of sitting, and my legs hurt. My hips
were creaking when I stood back up again. So that was a lesson learned. Set timer breaks. So that was for that. Then I also fit in here, I packed my camera. I did not end up actually even getting this out, mostly because I was busy doing the painting and stuff, and also just kind of forgot about it too. And then when I remembered, I was like, oh, I'm too much going on. I didn't want to pull it out, so I didn't. But I'm hoping next time that I can. What I need to do is get a tripod for this, so I can start using this to record videos or pictures and stuff. So that came along with this. Was the best thing that I'd packed. Okay, I mean, all of it was really good, but I did think, hey, it's gonna be hot, so I should pack this. Now, it's not supposed to come detached like that, but it does because it's broken. But the fan part works still, and it can still sit on it. And so, as I do with my editing magic, maybe you'll see where I had this actually on a window ledge in front of a restaurant where I was sitting in front of, and it kept me cool, which was really great because there were times where there was nice wind, nice breeze, but then there were also moments where it was really just muggy hot, and that was great. I really loved having that. Let's see, I'll share this next. This was my backup pouch of things that don't fit in my art palette kit, but that I thought I might need. And I did end up using, I had packed a couple of rulers, a good straight edge. This is actually a dressmaker's gauge? I don't know. It's a ruler with a flat edge. And I packed a triangle, but I ended up not using this at all. I mean, I also packed some glitter gel pens to add details, and like I said, I ended up not, the only thing I took out of here was the ruler, because I wanted that flat edge, straight lines. This is a blotting towel, not for the art, but for my face, because it gets hot and I get sweaty. So that was nice to have. Especially after I biked there, because I was biking in a hustle. I wanted to get there and I was late. And so that's nice for that. Too much information, probably. There were a lot of really amazing booths and exhibits and things. There's an art museum in there too. And I learned about Fiber Hawaii, which they do all things fiber. They've got workshops and classes. They even have like a broom making thing, which I'm totally going to look into because that has been on my list of things that I've wanted to make for like the past 5 years. So I'm going to be checking that out because it's like the Japanese way of doing it. I don't know. I'm really excited about it. I think it'll be cool. Let me see what's this. Oh. I actually don't know what this one was. Somebody handed it to me. There was a parade, which, again, editing magic. Maybe I'll call back to it forward to. I don't know. Somebody passed that to me. I don't know what it is. I'll have to look at it more. Here's the art kit. And I had a lot of people stop and ask me about this because, frankly, it's adorable and it worked out really good. I loved it. People really especially loved my little key that matches the palette. They thought that was fun. And I agree, it was fun. Looks like I forgot to clean up some stuff. That's okay. I'll clean it up. That's what coming home is for, is we clean up after. But yeah, so that worked out really great. And one thing I hadn't anticipated that worked out so well is the hinge area here, just nestling into the tripod art easel thing. And so that was able to hold my palette, because I had wondered, I'm like, how am I going to hold the palette so that I can paint? Maybe I'll just set it in my lap. But that's not exactly ideal. And I figured out that I keep losing my words of what I want to call it, the art easel. And it ended up working on that. But when I did it that way, because of how heavy this side is, that has all of the tools and paintbrushes and stuff, it kind of kept wanting to like tip over and fall off. So I had to counterbalance it by putting the art easel on the lid. But the problem is the lid is also my palette mixing area, and I did end up mixing to get some of the color that I needed. And so that's something I'm going to have to workshop on how I'm going to address that in the future. And again, it's only an issue when I'm using the tripod art easel thing. So we'll see. But it was really good. Oh, and I did end up using both of my water jars. Here you go. You can see the colors. Purple and gray. I need to clean those out still, but yeah. So that worked out great. Again, a lot of really positive comments, feedback about my cool little travel kit, and I felt really cool with it. It was very gratifying, and it was really fun to use there. So I had packed this and this because I just wasn't sure what the Urban Sketchers community was really like. I've never done this before, so I was like, do I bring an actual canvas and try and do like a real painting, or just some paper? So this little this little file has some papers in it. And so I got there, I was late, so everybody had already met and dispersed to find their place where they were going to sketch. And so I showed up, and I looked for people that were sketching next to the buildings. And when I did, I found the first couple of people I went up and I asked. They were part of the Urban Sketcher group. And, it was like, just kind of talk to them a little bit, and they're like, yeah, go sketch, and we'll be back here, come back here, or over in the courtyard or whatever. And so we did that, and I don't know where I was going with this. I saw they had actual sketchbooks, and they were just sketching right into it directly. So I didn't have a sketchbook, but I did bring this paper. And so that's why I was like, okay, this isn't like a super formal, need a painting thing. This is just sketchbooks. And so this is what I did. I went through a couple iterations, but ended up deciding that I wanted to focus on just like this top cool piece of the building. I ended up getting some of the proportions wrong, but that's fine. And it was just fun to play and just experiment with it. And then it had some other cool details. These were all like over windows. They were window treatments, and I thought those were just really cool. So that's what I did. And then I actually hadn't finished this when we were getting together to meet as the Urban Sketchers, so I went back and I added some more of the details, the darker shading on this, and all of the light purple. I did all of that later, after we had dispersed again. So that's it. Oh, and look, I got a stamp. When you participate, you get a little stamp for Urban Sketchers Oahu. So that was cool. It was really fun. So I had packed that and a couple other sizes in case, other sizes of paper in case I want to do something smaller. And maybe that's what I do next time. I don't know. We'll see. So I think that's basically everything that I packed. Yeah, but now I want to share my prizes. So because this was an arts festival, there were a lot of booths selling, there were local artists, small kind artists that just had really lots of gorgeous stuff. Unfortunately, I wasn't there to shop, so, but I was cruising, and there were a couple of places that had free little make and takeaways, and so I stopped at all of the ones, I stopped at all of the booths that had a little free something, and made a couple fun things. So my first stop was the, let me see, do I have their card somewhere? Probably. Might have lost it. But it's the Pastel Artists of Honolulu, and I'll put that picture somewhere. I don't know. And this was the picture that I painted. Not painted. This isn't painting. This is with oil pastel. And they were great and gave me a sleeve, and then they told me how to keep the dust settled. So that's good. But it's, middle of May, Mermay going on right now. And so, of course, I drew my little mermaids hanging out in the water. And I think I did pretty cool. I think the tail underwater, the hands kind of going under the water, I think it turned out about as I was hoping. So, yay! But yeah, that was cute. I'll take a better picture of this and share it. Maybe. We'll see. So, that was the first one. It's got to make a drawing. Oh, and the paper is orange, you know, and that's the orange of the sunset kind of thing. The next one I got to do was this. It was the Printmakers Guild or something. Printmakers of Hawaii? I should have written these names down. I didn't. But they had lino-cut prints of insects because the University of Hawaii here has an insect museum. I had no idea. And so they had partnered together, I guess, with the Printmakers of Hawaii, and they had created these really beautiful lino-cut insects. And that's what I got to do. They had a line, they had a bigger print that you could make, like with the roller and the ink and everything, and it was really cool, but I decided I wasn't gonna stick around and wait in that long line for that one, but I did get to make this, which is fun. I might turn it into like a bookmark or something, but that was cute. And then let me see, I made a button, but I pulled it out to show my family, and I'm not sure where it went. So maybe I'll share a picture. Ooh, excuse me. Whew. Maybe I'll share a picture when I find the button, because I'm not sure where I put it. I tried making a crown flower. I don't know how successful I was, but I made an attempt at a crown flower, because I really love crown flowers. I think that's so pretty. Right. Ah, there's one more thing I need to share. Where did I put it? I guess two more things. Pause at that. I'll be right back. And we're back. Okay. I found it. I also found the button. So here we go. Button. I don't know. It's kind of silly, but it was fun, you know, and it's cute. And I gotta make one. So, button. So as I had set up my tripod art easel thing in my stool, and I was just working, sketching and stuff, another artist who had been working somewhere else, I guess, not part of the Urban Sketchers people, just he was just a person there painting. Seems like a person who's really involved in the art scene here, which is cool. He gave me a lot of connections, or talked about a lot of other places that do paintings and like meetups and stuff. Anyway, and so he had come over and he's like, hey, can I set up next to you? You know, we chatted a little bit, and he's like, can I set up next to you? Mostly because I also want to get out of the sun, because it was hot. And I'm like, oh yeah, please go for it. So he sets himself up, and I mean, he had a setup. You know, I'm compact. I have a very tiny palette, my little stool, and I was very impressed. He had one of those 3-tier metal carts full of his art supplies and things, and he had a big easel, and he had a big canvas, and he, you know, obviously a professional. This is what he does for a living. And so he ends up setting up next to me. And as he's setting up, and, you know, we're chatting just a little bit, but we're also just working, and he shows me a sketch that he made of me. There's me with my little setup. It was really fun. I guess he took this from a book. Oh, Rip Van Winkle. I just saw on the back. Rip Van Winkle. So he takes old books, I guess, and he uses it as sketch paper. And yeah, he sketched this out of me. And then he further refined it. When he first showed me, it wasn't as colorful as this. It was much more simple. But he was like, you know, your setup is so great. This is a really good idea. And like, you know, when we talked about things, and he's like, oh, I love your idea of the personal fan. Anyway, it was very nice. And he had made that sketch. And I'm also going to show, or have already shown, I don't know, again, editing magic. But that was our setup. And he ended up actually painting it as a bigger scene on the canvas, which was also really fun. were both working, and you could hear people as they were going by, and they're like, oh, is he painting her? Is that her? Do you think that's... Anyway, so that was just kind of fun, and he definitely knows, he knew a lot of people, and like people were coming over to chat with him, other artists and stuff, and that was really fun. His name is Mitchell, and I have his information somewhere. I'll share it somewhere down below or in a comment or something. Oh yeah, he gave me, this is his card. His name is Mitchell, and he is an abstract figuratist. Yep. So I'll share his Instagram handle down in the description or something. One of those places. And then he also, as I was packing up and getting ready to leave, he also gifted me this, one of his prints. Let's see. I was looking to see, because he's got a nice little blurb back here, but it doesn't look like this has a title, which is fine. But isn't that just lovely? Fun little beach scene. And again, it's taken from some book, and I think I asked him about it, and I think he said this one was from like the history of France or something. But it's an old book. It's one of those ones that was headed for the dump, probably. So, what a fun way to reuse a book is as a painting canvas. Yeah, so that was fun. So, I had a wonderful time, and I'm excited to keep painting, keep taking this out with me, and, travel around. And I've been painting in playgrounds, which has been fun too, but this was fun to do an architecture thing, which I gotta work on it. So I think it was just a really fun day, really fun morning, and I'm so glad that I got to do that. I met a lot of wonderful people. I'm definitely going to be active with that Urban Sketchers group. I think it's just a really cool thing, and I'm just grateful for YouTube, because all of this creativity that's been happening recently has come because of things I've seen here on YouTube, and I don't know, hopefully my little corner of the internet is also inspiring, and I hope you all find some fun creative things too. May you be inspired. I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway, thanks for joining me today. Enjoy the video. Come back for more later. Like, subscribe. Anyway, that's it. Okay, bye.